Hello guys and welcome back to another Round Gamer video. Here is Hachiman and he is the new Earth Ranger that we shall see coming up on Thursday, and in short he is gonna outclass Frigg when it comes to Goliaths, and it's insane the stats that we're gonna see on him. So hold on and till I break the skills down and also do an event overview of this new Titan. So here's the skills for the Earth Ranger himself. Now he comes with some 180% Titan Earth damage. But what really is key with that, the key skill that he brings in terms of the spells is the 4 free shield spells along with the 300 massive shield absorption. Now this is really going to be useful, especially when you're trying to use him either on attack, not necessarily as a solo titan, but also when using him with Goliath or any other troop really. So that additional shield health that you get on the 4 shield spell is going to massively increase the effective health of the Goliaths that this Titan brings in. I'll talk about the prestige skill in a second, but the real key meat of this Titan is the buff that he provides to the Goliaths. You don't get 117%, but I had to peel my eyes to check this out, but he provides 234%, so that's twice as much as Frigg. You do get the 176% armor buff on defense, and you get 30% all elemental resist and up to 60% melee resist when it comes to defense, and some earth damage boost for the Goliaths, which is a bit new and nice to see, and 30% ranged resist. Now this really, in my opinion, it comes to Goliaths, is pretty flawless. You couldn't really ask for a lot more. I mean, that 30% elemental resist is not terrible. It's not massive, but it's really useful. That number is good. You can stack up resistances along with with other relics that are actually available in this event to make some really tough Goliath defenses, really scary ones, to be honest. Now the special skill that Hachiman has, and this is really only adds the icing to the cake for him. Now every time an enemy dies in battle when you take Hachiman, he will summon an Omega Goliath, and he can summon a maximum of 5. So that is essentially, if you kill 5 troops, if Hachiman and his troops kill 5 troops, you will get 5 Omega Goliaths. It's almost a given that you're going to get this when you're attacking, unless you're so terrible in attacking that you can't kill 5 troops. Now the other one, and this is again a no-brainer when it comes to whether this is going to happen or not. Now it says on enemy cast you get plus 15 troop all elemental resist. So that means it also applies to archers. Just to note that. Now that is useful, but what that means is that if the enemy casts 5 spells, and if the elemental resist just keep adding 15% rather than being 15% of what the base resistances are, then you can get up to 75% all troop elemental resist. Now that's massive, right? Now also every 20 seconds Hachiman casts shield spell for 4 allied troops with the lowest health. So 4 of your troops, let's say you're taking in all Goliaths, or you have all Goliaths on defense, and uh, every 20th second, the AI will look for these Goliaths which have the lowest health and just cast shield spells on them. Now note on that, and this is what I suspect will happen, is that if all your Goliaths are bunched up together, which is probably what does happen normally when you're attacking, or attacking really with Goliath builds, or you're going against a Goliath build, all the Goliaths seem to bunch together. So if the shield spell applies on, is applied, this divine protector thing, does it in fact actually apply to all given the radius of the shield spell? Because that is quite curious. Or does the AI very cleverly only apply the shield spell precisely to 4 troops, 4 Goliaths? That'll be interesting to see. But that again is a massive buff, I think, and this, I mean, I'm finding it hard to find a flaw in this Titan. Now the prestige skill only only adds to the uh, to what is already a devastatingly strong Goliath build that you can achieve with this. You get 70% base Goliath health. That's a base Goliath health, right? So all the other 234% health that you get and the buff that you get from the relics that you'll put on, that is gonna that is gonna apply after the base health has been applied, the 70% base health. When you, of course, note this is only when you get your prestige level to 10, which is up to 18 titans that you'll have to fuse in after Hachiman is level 60. And the other one you get is whenever an allied troop, whenever one of your own troop dies, then there's a 60% chance, it's pretty high, to call in one archer. Now, archers. Let's talk about archers. The archers have a 40% archer damage, 225% physical damage, which becomes 450 ridiculous on defense, 110% AP and 70% critical. So basically, you've got off the bat, you've got some insane archers without adding a single relic. And also note that the physical damage and the AP double on defense. Now imagine going up against an Hachiman, right, with a prestige level 10. You're going to have extremely healthy Goliaths, which is going to be, well, at least the current set of Titans, almost impossible to take down in in quick time. That, I mean, it's debatable whether it can actually be done, whether defense is back. But even if you do, every time every time you manage to kill one of those Goliaths, there's a chance that an archer will come from the back. Will somehow, doesn't matter. Not sure whether it'll actually arrive from the other end of the battlefield, but you have an archer, and that archer will have these insane stats. So you can't just sit there and try to take out a Hachiman. You have to be very clever and move around. So this is going to take some pretty insane strategy and titans that are going to be needed to take down Hachiman. I mean, this is shockingly good. Okay, so let's talk about the event. Now, there's a little typo here. 25,000 Souls Alliance event, and it starts Thursday, the 18th of June, not 16th of June. 1.4 is the boost you're going to get from Oni and Hachiman. Now, my Oni is personally level 17. I could really work on him. Not that I really want to, but hey, one's got to do something. Probably get him 30 to make him good enough to run an event. 1.2x for all of the 4-star Earth Rangers, and there are not too many out there. Earth Dread is one that comes to my mind. You of course got Joldorg if you really want to use him. Yeah, there might be another one, I can't remember, but those are the main ones anyway. 1.1x for all of the 4-star Earth Titan. So those are the options. Individual rewards. Now there are quite a few good relics. Rather than me talking about them in this screen, I'll show them on the other screen. But this event features a few more gems than the last time. Last event we had 700 gems, divine gems, now 750. So it's gone up, but of course the soul count's also gone up from 22k to 25k. It's a bit ridiculous. And you get 3.9 red gems, which is a bit lesser than what we had last week. Top 50 rewards will feature Hachiman, and you should be able to pull him for if you're on top 50, or you get an Archon. Not the worst one to actually go for. Right, let's talk about the relics in this event. So what do you get? The two new relics are Bijutsu's Stirrups and Winged Messenger. Right, okay. So now the Stirrups one, not my personal favorite, and I'm not going to stress upon that too much because you get archers armor piercing and Goliath's armor and armor piercing, It is not terrible. And it could probably, but it probably will be better used, if I could say so, on another Titan, maybe like Eros, because who's also an Archer Goliath combination. Kronos is also, of course, out there. I mean, it surely could be used in some sort of an attack build. Not something that I would personally equip on a defensive build. But the Winged Messenger, and this is the relic that is interesting because you get 50% Goliath melee and range resist. So you get two things in once. And with all these Goliath relics that we have, I think it's quite easy to see that we're going to get max melee and range resist for, and max all elemental resist for Goliaths in this particular Titan, and also Frigg now. So it's quite crazy now. Now, return of a very rare relic, two rare relics which I have on the screen: Cursed Axe and Staff of Earth. Staff of Earth being a bit more rare, I think. Staff of Earth was offered only once before this in an individual event, and so this is nice to see this feature. But the only thing is, though, this relic is available right at the end at 25,000 souls. So it doesn't come cheap, but the reason is because of what it grants you. 3 shield spells, okay, but the last 2 skills, the shield duration and the 60% damage absorption buff, I mean, that is something you probably want to have if you want to go for Hachiman. Because Hachiman already gives you 300% shield absorption. Now, add 50% to that, and add 60% damage absorption also on that. I mean, that's crazy. I don't even want to discuss how good this relic is for Hachiman, but also useful for Tengu if you want to consider building a Tengu. If you haven't done one already, Tengu will really love this one. Curse Tax gives you everything that you probably want, similar to Urkon's. I can't remember whether it was one of the Urkon's. I think Cauldron or one of those relics. But you get health and armor as well as Goliath's resist against ranged. So, yep, another good relic there as well. Buried potions been available before. You get health as well for Goliath, which is brilliant to have. But you get 16% Goliath's health, Goliath's resist against all elements, which is good to stack upon almost any Goliath build that you really want to have. So yeah, fabulous relic. Stoneface, not a great relic, wouldn't discuss that. Earth Rune, you also get 3 shield spells. Now if you have an Earth Rune and you have a Staff of Earth, you get 6 shield spells. You put that along with the innate skills of Hachiman, you're going in with 10 free shield spells. Just think of that, guys. Okay? This is how insane that relic is. Um, okay, what else do I have to share? Why is the screen going blank? All right, okay. Right, so let's now do a comparison between Hachiman and Frigg's Goliath. This is almost in a way a pointless comparison because as you can see from I'm not going to read all the things there, but you can clearly see that Hachiman is clearly really producing strong Goliaths. And point to note here is that not only are his uh, sort of off the bat skills for Goliaths better than Frigg's, but also you get that Hachiman can actually summon 5 Omega Goliaths, can actually gain up to plus 75 all elemental resist for the Goliaths, and the Prestige skill adds 70% base health. Right, so all that put together, now you have that in there. Now also consider what options you have. So if you're going to be going with going into the meta, you want the best possible builds, you will probably need a 5-star relic. The best one for Frigg is probably the Asgardian Blade. Although you could argue it's the new golden one, which I'll show it in a moment. But but the Asgardian Blade for Frigg and the Bow of Gods for Hachiman, both of them grant 40% all troop resist against all elements. And that's interesting because now you've already got 30% for Hachiman, and if you put in 40%, you get 70%. You add in the buried potion, you get 86%, or rather, if you just put in a what is that? The elemental grasp relic, you can actually get 90% resistance with against all elements with just 2 relics, with just the bow of gods and the elemental grasp. Now that's insane, right? 2 relics, max elemental resist, and you also got 60% melee, 30% ranged. Leaves room for adding so much more. So if you're bow of gods, I think that's gonna fit in wonderfully on this Titan. You also got God's Arm, which is now good for if your Frigg is at prestige level 1 or higher, because you can make a very strong self-buffing, insanely high Frigg health. But it's not a true build really. Uh, I don't even want to pronounce that, the golden 5-star ranger relic, but you've got 75% all troop damage, which could be sort of interesting but not very useful. And you get on enemy summon, you get Ghost, Rage, and Fireball. I don't think this relic is very good for Hachiman, so Bow of Gods still remains the better one. But if not, Stormbringer, I think it's still universally helpful because you get that 65% troop health buff, which do note is not provided by the Bow of Gods. So you have that Bow of Gods for max for getting your troop elemental resists, and the Stormbringer for the troop damage and health. Divine Touch could also be used for Frigg, of course. I want to discuss that, but here you go, guys. All of this information is out there. I personally think this is a insane insane Titan. Uh, I, I think everyone who can and who has saved relics should go for this. Although 25,000 souls is a big ask, but if you can manage to do it, I think this Titan is going to have a good payoff and probably going to be the next best defender in the game. Probably going to replace Frigg as well. Alright guys, that's it for the review. All the best for the event if you're going to go for it, and I'll catch you all in another Wrong Gamer video.